What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. Today I have got my first MX Simulator race, like proper race, in a good few years now. I've been practicing a little bit over this weekend. I somehow managed to top qualify. No idea how that happened. I guess I just sweated a bit more than most people. Managed to get first in my heat, which I was really surprised with. And what you're watching right here is the main event. I have cut it down a little bit just to stick to the good bits. You see I get not a great gate, so I check up a little bit and I got very unlucky there. Just barely touched the guy on my left with my front wheel. That is something that I do prefer bikes over than sim. It's just been able to rub a little bit more against people without just flopping on the floor. I'm surprised that hasn't changed in the last few years on sim, but so not the start we was looking for. I got a much better start in my heat, and this opening first lap or two, if you're familiar with sim, you know that if you don't get a great start, it is a bit of a war zone. You're kind of picking your way through. I got very unlucky there. That was my fault. At the time I was quite angry with the person that kind of jumped over my head, but I was going to crash anyway. I slid out on the face of the jump, and then again here got unlucky with someone trying to come past. And if you have a look up in the top right now of your screen at the track map, you see that green dot at the very bottom left of the map. That is where the leader is. So you can see I've lost a whole bunch of time already, and I think I leave for these first 1 or 2 laps completely unedited. So you really get to see what I was dealing with. Got very close to going down again there. Someone that was invisible got picked up by me there, so I do apologise, but I didn't have a choice, just had to go through. I chose to stand the bike up here a bit. I didn't want to force the issue with some people, and I'm not sure who this is in front of me, but you can see they are lagging a little bit. So with how unpredictable the sim collisions and physics can be sometimes, I didn't want to really get into him. Also, please subscribe if you're new to the channel. The notification just popped up on your screen, and we just hit 23.6k at the time of recording this as well. So thank you very much, guys. But back to this, I was so hesitant. I didn't want to do a massive whip next to this guy because I thought I'd get into him. Very lucky that he crashed there. So this is the first cut. I think you kind of see me trying to dodge through people. These first few laps, I think I cut to every point where I make a pass. So I'm in P13 right now, which isn't terrible by any means. Where are we at now? So, this another stupid error on my part. Usually you jump over that dragon's back, and I just didn't have the speed coming out the corner, so I really should have straightened the bike up a lot more. I was turned ever so slightly, so the second my wheels touched that downhill dragon's back, it just kicked me out sideways, and completely my error there, which I was quite annoyed with considering I'd already had a really bad start. So I guess now we go back to work. You know, I'm back in 14th. We're almost 3 minutes into this 20-minute plus 1 main. Very lucky there. I thought I'd checked up and cut down so I didn't hit the flying bike. And this double here, I had so many close calls over that double with over jumping it. Even when I wasn't trying to scrub it or go wild, I was trying to judge my speed, and when the road kicked in as well, it really made the distance that you were jumping unpredictable. And these whoops as well, I don't know how I managed it, but I did not crash once the entire main in that whoop section. And that's what I was really worried about all through qualifying. It's what was causing me the most grief. I also didn't crash on this triple in. This triple in is actually a massive huck. Thank God the 450s are so OP in this game. Very lucky not to get into that guy there, but that is us up into P12 now. I think we're skipping in exactly a lap from here, making a nice pass here. I was a bit nervous when I started jumping to the right that I was going to get into their line and they'd get into the back of me, but ended up going okay. Nice and smooth through this section, this whoop section again. I tried to be as smooth as possible. I wasn't trying to push the limits too much. I just wanted to make sure I stayed up, because everyone knows how deadly crashes are in this game. You'll lose a good maybe 7 to 12 seconds really, depending on what way you're facing or how long you roll. Another very, very close call there. I got very lucky that I didn't get the JLV wobble, whatever you want to call it, and just flop over. And you can see that I'm just sliding out here and there, not really apexing corners too well, and I think it was just first race back jitters. That's all I can really put it down to, and I was a little bit nervous, and you guys all know, well, I hope some of you know, I hope it's not just me, but you do occasionally feel like you're not really in control of your thumbs and you're just doing whatever. Here's another position picked up here. Someone went a little bit wild through that whoop section, and that's actually us up into P6 there. So we're 7.5 minutes into this main, already into P6, and I feel like I was making really, really good progress. You can see where the green dot is up on the top right again now. I don't know what that gap is, maybe 15 seconds or so, nothing massive whatsoever. Moved up into 5th from another crash there, so at this point in the race I was just thinking, people are handing me positions, I'm not having to work for them whatsoever, so if I can just stay on 2 wheels and try and ride at a somewhat decent pace, which if you look at my lap time, a 109.8, that was only 1.8 seconds off of my best qualifying time. and I think it would have qualified you about P4 or something like that. So if I could run anywhere near that time consistently, I'd be a very, very happy man. So we're right on the back of P4, I believe here. I'm not sure if this guy that went down is a position or not. I'm sure we'll soon find out if we switch places at all. Oh no, I remember this next rhythm section, it gets very, very close. That's why I left this bit in. So the line here is kind of go inside, step over to the outside, and you see I got so close to hitting him on the face, and I thought he was going to veer further left, so I veered way left, and I was quite surprised that I stayed on the track. A little bit sketchy through those whoops, but we come out in P4 now, which, to be fair, if the race ended here, I'd be very happy. I didn't know what to expect position-wise. Another nice pass there. It's nice to see some people racing sensibly as well. There's some people in that situation that just would not give it up, even though they didn't have the position into the corner whatsoever, and probably end up taking you both down. Kept this in to show my appreciation for a very, very good lapper. Whoever you are, thank you very much. I know it's very hard to know who people are on the track in this game. Obviously, you haven't got the names above their heads or the numbers or anything like that. I didn't have any spotters with me in this race, and if you're unfamiliar with sim racing and such, you can join the lobby even if you aren't racing and just spectate. So what a lot of people tend to do is they'll get a friend in to kind of spectate people around them, give them like times so they haven't got to keep checking their pit board, and let them know where people are down so they can avoid that part of the track. But it was just me in this. You see I got very unlucky there with a lapper going down. So all that hard work that I've just done for the last 10 minutes or so, undone a little bit. So we're back into P5 again, and again it's just another case of having to go back to work and try and push through and wait for mistakes from people. Again, very, very close, like 3 wide in this section, which my bumhole was puckering the entire time, because I don't feel like I'm prepared enough to go, like, to trust myself to go straight. Very sensible here from me. I didn't want to push the limit there at all. I think if I was to hit that corner as I normally would, I would have been taken out there. So nice and sensible. Again, up the inside, and I'm not sure who that was that I just passed, but very sensible riding, kind of letting each other swap positions without pushing the limit too much. Checked up a little bit there because I was worried my front end was going to get taken out, and then I just thought I settled in behind this Honda just to see how it goes for the next few laps, and someone did just go down there on the floor and we gained another position. So we're on the podium again, which like almost 12 minutes into the race, had an awful start, quite a lot of issues up to this point, and to still be in a podium spot, to me, I was very, very happy with. And I knew that I had the pace on whoever this person was in front of me. Again here, I checked up. I didn't want to push the envelope because I knew I'd get taken down if I tried going around the outside, and I was just really trying to pick my moments and try and be smart and sensible. And I must have played this track for a good maybe 3 hours over this weekend in total. So I knew what I needed to do, the muscle memory was there, it was really just a case of executing it, and I'm really, really happy with how I rode overall, just in comparison to what I know I can do, because it's always been demoralising for me when I make sim videos knowing how fast I used to be, and I feel like that's slowly come back. And there you go, I just gained, was that P2 now, and that was purely just from sitting on their ass, not really letting off, just applying pressure constantly, and they made a mistake. Here I'll just put in some clips of just trying to dodge people and lappers as they go down. Now this right here, this is the leader that's just gone down on the inside. They got very, very lucky that they didn't get their legs off and they just landed on their wheels. So we've taken over P1, which right now in this moment in time I was like, oh my god, how has this happened? I've basically gone from dead last to first, and we've still got 6 minutes plus a lap to go. So really now you can see at the lap times again, they're still very consistent lap times, consistently fast as well, which is what I was most happy with. And this is my first time that I've actually maybe like enjoyed Erode. When I used to play the game way back when, I used to hate the Erode, but I think because it built up so slowly over the course of this race. Hang on, watch this, watch this. Worst track re-entry I've ever seen. I was absolutely fuming at this point in the race. I was so pissed off with that lapper. I can understand jumping back on the track there and hugging the inside, but I cannot understand jumping from far left to far right, especially as you would have had the blue flag at that point at the bottom of your screen to say that the leader's coming. So yeah, to say I was annoyed is an understatement. So I dropped back again by like 5 seconds, so the next lap and a half, 2 laps, I've kind of worked my way up again. We're only 3 seconds behind now. That was them just going into the whoops there. And again, it's just about putting your head down, trying to do consistent laps. You can see again, I got another 110 at the bottom left, so the lap times are good. It's sometimes with sim it can be a case of getting lucky as well. And right here, that lapper in front of me, he could have easily cased that jump and crashed. And right here, I think this is a bit 50-50 in terms of issues. I believe he slowed down to let me pass jumping into the corner. He probably had no idea that I was right behind in line with him, which could have been, that was probably my fault as well anyway. I should have moved to the left or to the right, and my bad. And then I almost landed on, I think that was Jack Gatland there that I almost landed on, which Essentially would have been almost like payback for the start of the race as he tie-tapped my head. I would have got payback, but no, if I went down there again, I would have been absolutely fuming. A little bit unlucky with how people are going down. You know, it is costing me bits of time here and there. I'm very surprised I didn't go down in the whoops, hitting them at an angle and at low speed. So we're 7.2 seconds down. You see, again, more mistakes from me. I think I was just trying to go too fast at this point to catch up, because if you look up at the time, there's 19 minutes left plus a lap. Not 90 minutes, but it's been 90 minutes, so we've got a minute plus a lap. So I think we've got 2 laps left, I believe. Yeah, so the leader is right in front of me here. So they've had an issue, which is very, very lucky for me, very fortunate, because obviously I've had a lot of issues myself. So the only way I was really hoping to see if I could win this race at all was mistakes from other people, and they came. I was quite surprised that I was this high up at this point anyway, so again, anything at this point I was happy to take. And I think I keep on board for these last 2 laps now, because I'm thinking, right, there's 4 seconds to the lead. I didn't have any expectations going into this. I may as well just put my head down and push and try and get it. And I was taking some different lines to people. I mean, most people in this section were hugging the right-hand side, going triple quad. I didn't trust myself to hit the quad into the corner consistently, because it's it's a small margin of error. If you land too far left or too far right, you'll mess up your run into a whoop. So I was going step on, step off, triple, and it just felt much more consistent for me. And I'm pleased or happy with myself that I was doing that. You can see that the lead's making a few mistakes here, taking some of the slower lines, and I'm just going for all the same lines that I was in qualifying. You know, they're not unachievable in the race by any means, especially when the road kicks in and the berms kind of hold you in a bit better and the jumps send you a little bit further. So 1.2 seconds we're coming up to a lap to go, and I love being in this position where I am the one hunting. I think if I was in the lead right now, I would be absolutely bricking myself. My thumbs would be all over the place. But look what happens here. Normal line is we step on, leader's accidentally jumped to the right hand side of the finish post. His lap hasn't counted. So right now, I am in P1 because their lap hasn't counted. You'll see what they do here is they go straight on in this corner to then turn around and hit the finish line again, so it does count. And I'm thinking, oh my god, I've got like a 10-15 second lead, everything's lovely. But look at that dot right behind me on the map. Someone has been ghosting me the entire race and is literally within 2 seconds of me. So it wasn't just a 2-way battle for the lead that I thought I was in, it's been a 3-way battle the entire time, and I had no idea there was someone that close behind me. So again, right now, I'm the one being hunted, and I didn't like it at all. This is the point where I start getting a little bit wobbly, but I just thought, right, try and hit the normal lines, don't change anything. Got 1.4 seconds, and you'll see very, very shortly, the timer will go from 1.4 up to 11. Absolutely perfect. Person in second has crashed. I've got some nice breathing room, so we've got 2 corners left, just bring it home. And well, I see there's some lappers in front of me, so I'm not even going to go too fast to try and catch up with them. I just don't want any dramas. I just want the race to be done, and I'll spoil it now for you. We do win with a corner left, and I was so happy to kind of come back from so long off and win a race. You'll see I do a little like happy little wiggle, then I'll stick right there. But yeah, very happy. It was good racing all round. Came from essentially dead last through to win with some dramas with lappers as well. By no means does this mean I'm going to suddenly go and start trying to do RF and battling with the likes of Leclerc and Carter and Pace and Johnson and all that, because this essentially is a fun race. You know, it's not to the level of those guys, it's not to the same standard, and I think I'd even be lucky to qualify for the RF still, even with this this performance. But really enjoyed it. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and most importantly, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until I catch you in the next video, peace.
My tent way too damn dark, laugh in your face like man dark. Came a long way from the bad days way back, had to burn down that landmark. Seen some things I ain't really want to see, it's all good, that's what made me me. Now who would I be if I had it easy? Used to break down, now I'm in a 350 like whoa. I've been laying way too low, had to switch up and change my flow, cause I'm back from the block, had to bust some rocks and dust off the dust to get back in the box. Now why you wanna